What's going on, guys? Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCGO, and today I'm bringing you a deck that I have wanted to bring you for a while. I just have not been able to obtain the cards for that, and that is a Mega Garchomp-EX deck. And of course, the reason that it isn't expanded is because I am pairing Mega Garchomp with Reuniclus. But before I get into the deck, just a reminder that if you guys liked this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton and lets us do more for you guys. And as for the question of the day, not sure if I've done this question before, but if I have, I apologize. What is your favorite pseudo-legendary Pokemon? Now, this question comes from the fact that we are obviously doing it around Garchomp, and Garchomp is a pretty powerful, one of the most powerful pseudo-legendaries. And for those of you who don't know what a pseudo-legendary is, even though I'm sure most of you do, pseudo-legendary is a line of Pokemon that is a Stage 2 at the end, or not really Stage 2, but it's a stage, well, I guess it is obviously a Stage 2. Let me start again. A pseudo-legendary is a Stage 2 line of Pokemon that are more powerful than the Pokemon in the rest of the region and are usually not obtainable until the end of the game, or in some cases even after the game. So for a list of pseudo-legendary Pokemon, you have Dragonite, you have Tyranitar, you have Metagross, and Salamence in Gen 3. Gen 3 was a little bit of an overachiever. Then in Gen 4, you have Garchomp, like the one in this deck. Gen 5 was Hydreigon, and Gen 6 was Goodra, while Gen 7 was Kommo-o. Now, a lot of those are really, really cool, but I have to say that my favorite is kind of, I feel like, a less popular choice, and that is Hydreigon. Now, I know that Metagross, Salamence, Garchomp have all enjoyed much greater levels of success. Even Dragonite and Tyranitar have. But Hydreigon just has a special place in my heart because that has always been a Pokemon that has been on my best UU teams, and like I've said before, underused is my favorite tier of all time, particularly Gen 6 underused, and Hydreigon was a crucial member of that team, so that's why Hydreigon has a special place in my heart and why it is my favorite pseudo-legendary. So let me know what you guys' favorite pseudo-legendary is. I would love to hear and why, and yeah, leave that in the comment section below. But on to the actual deck. Like I said, centered around Mega Garchomp, 210 HP, so it's actually a kind of, well, I don't want to say weak, it is a less bulky of the Megas out there. I would expect Mega Garchomp to have like 220, 230, but the fact that it has 210 and free retreat, I feel like have to go hand in hand, and I'm okay with that. Mega Garchomp having free retreat is actually a pretty awesome thing, because free retreat on anything is amazing, and of course the attack that we are using, Crimson Edge, 180 damage for 4 energy. I mean, just slap 2 double dragons or a double dragon and 2 fightings, and it does 180. That is a perfect number. That is a magic number, and this Pokemon does 10 damage to itself for each damage counter on it. So that is the drawback of this card. So what are we going to do? We're going to make sure that Mega Garchomp never has any damage counters on it. Now, what's awesome about it being a Mega and why it's okay to only have 210 HP, Mega Garchomp is rarely, if ever, going to be knocked out in one hit. So what we can do, let Garchomp take a hit, move all of our damage counters away with Reuniclus, max potion up whatever we moved away, and Garchomp can hit for 180 damage again with 0 drawback. So that is going to be the goal of this deck, with all of the cards centered around attaining that goal. As for the numbers of Pokemon running to Shaymin, because Shaymin is Shaymin, Shaymin gets set up, and especially if we're running Hoopa in this deck already, there is absolutely no reason to not run Shaymin even without Hoopa. So Shaymin just has another way of being sought out with Hoopa and Ultra Ball, so just amazing card. 3-3 of the Garchomp and Mega Garchomp, and Garchomp in itself isn't bad. Shred, 1 for 30 in this attack, isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. It can be kind of cool in situations where you have to, like, knock out a Carbink. I mean, even though a Carbink is like a 4-hit KO, so it's really not that big of a deal. But either way, Garchomp is a way of dealing with Carbink, because as you can see, this deck just gets shut down by it otherwise. So just having to shred 4 times, I mean, yeah, it lets them get set up completely, but oh well. I mean, at least we technically have a way of being able to deal with it. So 3 of that Garchomp, 3 of the Mega Garchomp, 1 Landorus, because, I mean, I'm running Fighting Energy in this deck, and we are in the expanded format, and Garchomp isn't going to be attacking immediately. I threw one Landorus in there because this guy can spread around damage earlier, as Fighting Fury Belts are kind of the bane of this deck. So Hammerhead can just spread around damage to the point where you can be like, okay, well, now everything is in range of 180. So Landorus, excellent, excellent addition in the expanded format. And also in some cases, like against Night March, Landorus can pretty much just almost win you the match in many different cases. Being able to just snipe Joltex on the bench, snipe Pumpkaboos, all of that. Landorus, invaluable. One Hoopa, like I said, because we are running a bunch of EXs, Hoopa just allows us to search those out. 2-1-2 of Solosis through Reuniclus, just because Reuniclus is the second member of this combo. That makes this deck work, or allows it to work. Damage swap as often as you like during your turn. You may move one damage counter from one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon. This is where we take away the drawback completely from Crimson Edge. Just move all the damage counters off of Mega Garchomp so it can hit for 180. And of course, this has amazing synergy with Max Potion, because move all the energy to, say, like a Hoopa that has no energy on it, will never have any energy on it. Just move all the damage counters from Mega Garchomp onto Hoopa, Max Potion the damage off, and it's like that attack never happened. So very awesome combination right there that works pretty well in my testing. Now, you might look at my item line and notice I'm not running any Trainer's Mail. Well, the thing is, I did initially have Trainer's Mail in this deck, but with the number of cards that with the numbers that I'm using, I found that there were instances where I'd rather have another Max Potion or another Level Ball instead of the Trainer's Mail. So I actually went without any Trainer's Mail in this list, just because, I mean, that's what I found worked for me when I was testing. However, if you are not, if you don't agree with me and think that Trainer's Mail is too good to not use, I actually completely agree with you. This was just my experience. I would suggest running one less Level Ball, one less Max Potion, and one less Fighting Energy in order to run 3 Trainer's Mail to help a little bit with consistency if you have that problem. However, like I said, when I was testing with this deck, I found that in each instance, I would rather have another Level Ball or another Max Potion as opposed to the Trainer's Mail, so I just kind of went with that. But again, my opinion, let me know what you guys think if you try that out. But as for the items, 2 Battle Compressor, this is the expanded format, so we might as well take advantage of Battle Compressor as it activates via Seeker immediately. It allows Mega Turbo to function, and I mean, it's really just search through your deck, throw 2 energy cards in there. So Battle Compressor is great for that, and I mean, this card is just so ridiculously powerful that I'm glad that it still is in the expanded format for us to use. 1, Computer Search, because again, expanded format, we would be stupid not to use Computer Search and not take advantage of the A specs that are offered to us. You could also use Gold Potion, but I mean, I prefer 100% the Computer Search because we already have Max Potion and ways of moving our energy around. And I'll be right back once TCGO decides to let me back into the game. Okay, we're back. I'm really hoping that's not indicative of how this live is going to go. But where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. I was talking about Computer Search. 100% use that over Dowsing Machine or Gold Potion or anything like that. Just because Computer Search gets you that 1 extra piece that you need. Because this deck is reliant on the combo of getting a Mega Garchomp going and getting a Reuniclus going. So having Computer Search get you that 1 extra piece that you need is invaluable. 2, Level Ball, because the entire Solosis through Reuniclus line is searchable with Level Ball. I honestly have no idea why Reuniclus was just decided to be the 1 stage 2, or not the 1 stage 2, but to be a stage 2 consistently that has 90 HP. Really don't understand it, because if anybody ever faced a Reuniclus in-game, you know that that thing is stupidly bulky. So, makes no sense to me, but either way, the entire Reuniclus line can be sought out with Level Ball. That's why I like having 2 instead of just 1. 3, Max Potion. I know in these type of decks I normally run 2, but this is so crucial to the strategy of this deck working that I needed to run 3. And like I said when I was talking about why I'm not running Trainer's Mail, I found that I wanted an extra Max Potion and an extra Level Ball quite a bit, so I decided to just completely forego Trainer's Mail in this list to throw an extra of both of these guys in. 3, Mega Turbo to help potentially power up Mega Garchomp in 2 turns. 2, Rare Candy to go straight from Solosis to Reuniclus, because you want to get that sucker up as fast as you can and as consistently as you can. So we're running 1 Duosion and 2 Rare Candy just to have multiple options to be able to do that. One, Special Charge, because if our Garchomps get knocked out, or our Double Dragons get Enhanced Hammered away, because Enhanced Hammer is everywhere in the expanded format for some reason, so Special Charge allows us to reuse those. 4, Ultra Ball gets us what we want when we want. 4, VS Seeker to reuse all of our supporters, and as for the supporters, you have my generic 4-2 of N and Sycamore. For draw support, you have the 2 Lysandre like I've been running recently, and then of course this is the expanded format, and we're already running Battle Compressor in the deck, so why not throw in 1 copy of Lillie, just because you can Battle Compressor that thing into your discard pile, wow, this isn't like a funeral or anything like that, into your discard pile immediately, and be able to use that turn 1. I know a lot of people were saying in Standard that Lillie sucks because you rarely, if ever, get it turn 1. Well, in the expanded format, Battle Compressor allows you to search Lillie out, throw that into your discard pile, and be able to use that turn 1. So, haven't been disappointed yet when throwing a copy of Lillie into a deck that has Battle Compressor. Then we are running 3 Garchomp Spirit Links, because obviously we have 3 Mega Garchomp. 4 Double Dragons to ensure that we get them when we need them to be able to use Crimson Edge. And then 7 of the Fighting Energy, just I want to make sure that I have energy in the discard pile when I need it for Mega Turbo, but I also want to be able to draw into it to be able to attack with Landorus, so a bit of a double-edged sword right there in terms of there are multiple things that I want to have my energy available for, so that's why I'm running a little bit of a heavier line of the energy. But like I said, if you guys want to run Trainer's Mail in this deck, I would suggest cutting 1 Level Ball, 1 Max Potion, and 1 Fighting Energy to throw in 3 Trainer's Mail. But again, that's just my opinion. Let me know what your guys' experiences are with that. But I'm done rambling at this point. Let's just go ahead and actually see this deck in action. Alrighty, we have found one against Kabulio with a normal and dark deck. So, guys, we're probably in for some Darkrai, and that could be very bad for us because all he needs to do is just Lysandre up my Reuniclus, and we lose. But luckily, we do get to go first. We start with a solo Solosis. Oh boy, good thing we're going first, otherwise we could get donked by Laserbank. But I even start with so much good stuff in my hand that I have to end. Wow, I even draw my other Double Dragon, so... And of course, my opponent starts Talonflame. I mean, why wouldn't he? But, okay, we get some better stuff. This stuff we can work with. Let's go ahead and Garchomp, Level Ball, probably get another Solosis, because this one's going to go down to Aeroblitz. Like, that's just going to happen. And then let's go ahead and Battle Compressor, get rid of Lillie, a Sycamore, and a Fighting Energy. That way I can potentially Mega Turbo later. Shaymin, see if we can get a Spirit Link or something to that effect to get a Garchomp up. And, I mean, I get a Fighting Energy, so at least I have an attachment for the turn, but yeah, I mean, my Solosis is going to go down immediately. And what the heck is my opponent running? I just realized that they're running Talonflame in a dark deck. They must... Oh, wow, okay. So my opponent immediately... My opponent's running Darkrai with Talonflame and somehow starts Talonflame. So already, this is going badly for us. And it looks like I'm just going to have to shred with my Garchomp if I don't get something decent. I mean, I'm probably just going to end because, once again, I have too many good things in my hand that I don't want to get rid of, but that I will... I mean, that I want later, but I don't want now. I mean, unless I can get... Okay, there we go. So I will be able to at least get a Reuniclus up this turn. So that's pretty nice. Let's Ultra Ball, get rid of the Special Charge and the VS Seeker to actually grab a Landorus. I mean, because Landorus deters the Darkrai. And now I'm just going to put my opponent back down to a hand of 5. And, yeah, see if we can get something else. Okay. This is not good. So, what I am going to do, Ultra Ball, get rid of another Fighting and a Sycamore to grab a Duosion. That way I can evolve into Reuniclus next turn. And then, I mean, I'm probably just going to... well, let's Shaymin, see if I can get a Double Dragon. If I can get a Double Dragon and a... Well, there's the Double Dragon in the Spirit Link. Let's go ahead and do that. Play the... Yeah, play the Fighting Energy. That way I can Hyper Beam. Do I want to? Do I want to play it on this or the Landorus? I think I'm just going to go on this. That way I can Hyper Beam next turn, knock out the Talonflame, and go from there. I mean, I also wanted to get rid of the cards my opponent Aero Blitzed for, so N was just the vastly superior play in this situation. Unfortunately, I now have no draw supporter. My opponent does even Town Map. He's going to be able to Elixir onto the Darkrai. He's going to be able to Aero Blitz again, and there's no way I'm going to... Of course he hits the double Max Elixir. Okay, at least he ends me. Now I can potentially get a better hand because what I had was not very good. Wow, okay. This is not what I'm wanting at all. My opponent Roller Skates, of course, gets heads, so we're in a very bad position right now. Wait, my opponent runs Darkrai Eevee and still managed to start with... whatever. I don't even at this point. I have no idea. But, I mean, unfortunately... Okay, finally doesn't hit a Max Elixir, so we should be good. Roller Skates again, gets Tails. Yes, you're not going to get rewarded for 2 Roller Skates. He will be able to Aero Blitz. I'm definitely going to end to get my opponent out of that this turn. Probably what I'm going to do is play down the Garchomp, battle Compressor some more stuff away. Okay, so first off, I hope I draw into a Reuniclus. Just because that's, like... A Reuniclus would really, really help out right now. I get a Lysandre. I'm just going to play the Garchomp down, battle Compressor, get rid of some more stuff. Probably get rid of... let's see, what do I want to get rid of? What do I actually want to get rid of? Let's just, I guess, get rid of a regular fighting for Mega... Wait, but I already have 2 fighting in the discard pile. There's nothing I really want to get rid of at this point. So I'll probably just get rid of... I guess just get rid of a Sycamore. Yeah, let's just do that so I have it in the discard pile. Let's VS Seeker for an N. Put my opponent... I mean, it gives my opponent an extra card, but at the same time, like, it gets rid of the cards he Aero Blitz for, so... I still get nothing. Wow, that's kind of ridiculous. I don't get a Mega Garchomp yet, and I still don't get a Reuniclus. So what I am going to do, Spirit Link up this other Garchomp just cuz, and Hyper Beam. So I'm drawing very poorly. I mean, I know that this deck has a lot of different things that go for it, but I even have to... Yeah, so I luckily knock out the Talonflame, get another Double Dragon. So I have all the Double Dragons I need, I could possibly want. So I mean, that's a plus. Luckily, the Landorus is there, so I think I'm gonna go into that this next turn, and then just start hammerheading because I need to preserve my Garchomps because hitting for 180 is going to be what's gonna win me the game, and then also Max Potioning off my opponent's 2-hit KOs on my Garchomp. So my opponent does just Lillie for 6. I would have preferred if he ended me. That way I could have a better hand. But I mean, either way, I have a Garchomp that's going to be able to Hyper Beam Malamar. Oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying. My opponent is just going to go into his baby Yveltal. If I can get a Mega Garchomp, I will be able to one-shot this thing and actually be in a pretty solid position in Pokédex. Who run... What? That's so weird. Unfortunately, we see the Enhanced Hammer in my opponent's prizes. That's going to be bad, meaning that I'm really going to want to conserve my going to want to conserve my Double Dragons. But let's see. My opponent is just going to power up the Darkrai. That's scary. I get another Max Potion. So that is very bad for me. I'm going to Double Dragon up my other Garchomp and just Hyper Beam. See if I can discard this energy, please. Nope, I don't get it. That would have been really nice, because now what my opponent can do is just attach and retreat into his Darkrai that's on the bench, and then potentially knock me out. Or he does... Oh, that even... Yeah, it allows him to attach to the Malamar, put me to sleep. If he has a Float Stone, and he has a Colress for 10. Ah, this is bad. This is very, very bad. If he has a Float Stone, he's going to be able to retreat into his Darkrai, and then, yep, we see it right there. And then be able to knock out my Garchomp that has literally all my resources on it. So this is looking very, very bad for us. Unfortunately, somehow I have not been able to get a Reuniclus or a Mega Garchomp up at this point. If I can draw into like a way to refresh my hand, if I can get an N, that would just be spectacular. Because that would allow me to get my opponent's hand down to 3 while also putting the Max Potions back in my deck, because I don't want them right now. I want my, like, my Reuniclus. I only want max potions once I get Reuniclus. If I can get an N right now, my opponent's hand is too big. Like, that's just scary. And I get another Garchomp. Man, I should have just... that is so frustrating. I mean, I get another Garchomp, I'll be able to take a knockout on the Eviltal on the bench, but now my opponent has a hand of, like, 37,000 cards. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My opponent had a hand of 12 cards. So he has everything he could want and more. He's going to Parallel City me. I mean, that just allows me to get rid of my Shaymin, so that's not a big deal. I do get a Mega Garchomp finally off the prizes. We get the Enhanced Hammer. That's bad. That's really bad. And my opponent's just going to put my Landorus to sleep with the Malamar. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. Because, I mean, I can just... at least he got the Enhanced Hammer off his prizes, and then now that's gone. But my opponent is just going to Chorus. Going to Chorus for 8. That's... Jeez, this is bad. This is looking very, very bad. I mean, we're down... We are down horribly in terms of prizes. My opponent even gets an Umbreon GX up. He's going to be able to Dark Head. Luckily, my Landorus survives, and I stay asleep. Wow, okay, that sucks horribly. But at least, okay, I can allow my Landorus to survive. So I'm going to evolve into a Mega Garchomp finally, evolve into a Reuniclus. Let's just go ahead and... Actually, not Max Potion... not Mega Turbo yet, because what I can do is just load up my Landorus with 170 damage, and then, or load up my Garchomp with all the 170 damage from my Landorus, and then Max Potion all of that off, and then Mega Turbo onto it. So, I mean, I can, at the very least, I can survive the turn, make my opponent keep attaching to Malamar, and this, oh boy, this is not going well. I mean, I'm still actually in it, just because if I can get a Garchomp up and going, I'm going to be able to win this match. Just because I will be able to one-shot his Darkrai with Crimson Edge, his next Darkrai will not be able to one-shot me, and then assuming he doesn't get a Fighting Fury Belt on it, I'll be able to one-shot that back. So I'm still in this game. I'm just unfortunately getting very, very unlucky with my draws and the coin flips at this point. So now what I can do... end my turn right there, just Max Potion all the damage off of my Mega Garchomp, and my Landorus will now survive the turn. Mega Turbo onto that, play the Double Dragon just in case my opponent ends me, and I do wake up. Which, I mean, that helps. It means my opponent has to attach to the Malamar again, but at the same time, it means that, I don't know, I mean, it's good that I woke up. Just because now my opponent has to attach to the Malamar, but I mean, considering he has a hand of 8 cards, odds are he has energy, and he plays Random Receiver too? Oh boy. If my opponent Lysandre's in my Reuniclus, I'm in a bad spot. Just because, I mean, that's... Well, actually, no, I'm not. If he Lysandre's up the Reuniclus and knocks it out, I win. He is going to Lysander up the Garchomp, which is probably a smart play. He's going to put it to sleep. He's going to damage me, but I still have the other Max Potion in my hand, so as long as I wake up, I'll be fine, and I'll be able to knock out this Darkrai. Oh my god. Of course I stay asleep. Wow, that is actually horrible. That's really, really awful. But, I mean, luckily what I can do, I mean, these Max Potions, luckily I didn't have to get rid of them, so what I am going to do is move all the damage onto my 180 HP Garchomp, just Max Potion all of that up, and that's very unfortunate that I stayed asleep once again. Just because, I mean, I would have been able to attack, I would have been able to knock out the Darkrai, and then have been one turn away from being able to win this match. But unfortunately, just coin flips aren't going my way, and the coin flips aren't going my way this whole match. So this is, I mean, we're still in this. I'm still holding out hope. I think we can win this. I definitely do, just because, I mean, 180 damage consistently each turn. And with Reuniclus, I'll be able to get rid of the downside of that. I still definitely have a chance to win this. And also, my opponent's damage has capped out at this point. I mean, my opponent caps out at 170. That's not going to be able to one-shot anything. And, yeah, let's just go ahead and Max Potion up the Garchomp. Get rid of all the damage that my opponent did. And then just end. See what I can get. Okay, I get some stuff I can work with. Finally get my computer search, which is really nice. Let's get rid of the Reuniclus and the Ultra Ball. Probably just to grab a... Let's see, what do I want to grab? Probably... Let's just grab the Sycamore for next turn so that I can do that. And then you know what? I'm just going to Mega Evolve up. I can't attack anyway. I stay asleep. That is awful. But, I mean, at least I have another Mega Garchomp that I can potentially Mega Turbo and Double Dragon onto next turn should my opponent damage this Garchomp enough. And, okay, my opponent actually escape ropes. That's great for me because what I can do is go into my other Mega Garchomp that has free retreat, no energy on it at all, and just let that take the hit for this turn. I'm wondering what my opponent is going to go into. He's probably just going to go into his Darkrai. He's going into his Malamar. Oh my gosh, is he going to try to Maximar? He is. 3 and 4. Yes, you know what? I'm not even mad. I actually deserved that at this point. I deserved my opponent going 0 for 4 on Maximars just because that was kind of ridiculous. Let's go ahead and put the energy onto my Mega Garchomp on the bench. Mega Turbo up my other Mega Garchomp just to have an energy on it. Play the Spirit Link because why the heck not? Retreat into my Mega Garchomp and then Crimson Edge one-shot this Malamar. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back in this. I finally get the Hoopa. There, it was in my prizes, so that would have been nice earlier. But I mean, you know what? At this point, I think we actually might win. Because if my opponent manages to... Okay, so the Umbreon can take a hit. The Umbreon can take a hit, but my opponent has to end me. I have to not draw into my Lysandre or a VS Seeker, and then I can win the game. Because then I'll be able to Lysandre up a Darkrai, or any one of his Darkrai, and just win the game. He attaches to this Darkrai. I guess he just wanted to instruct for a fresh hand. Or, not for a fresh hand, but for an extra card, see if he could draw into something. But even if my opponent ends me... Oh, we won. We won. Guys, we won. Haha, yes. Garchomp was... Oh, that 180 damage, and look at that. We flipped 6 tails. That was brutal. 6 tails, and I mean, my opponent flipped 5 tails, but that was only because of the Maximar that he went 0 for 4. So, I mean, my opponent really went 1 and 1 in terms of coin flips. Meanwhile, we went 1 and 6. Oh, that's horrible. That's just atrocious. I mean, that's TCGO for you. Coin flips are, well, actually, that's my luck on TCGO. I'm sure some of you get, like, insane amounts of heads, too. I mean, you have to balance out my number of tails, but anyway, Mega Garchomp was able to come through. My strategy kept me in the game. Reuniclus moving around the damage counters, keeping my opponent from being able to take any knockouts until we were able to set up, and that 180 damage each turn was just too much for my opponent to handle. So Garchomp and Reuniclus both came through ridiculously clutch, and you know what? Even Landorus put in a good amount of work, taking a crucial prize when I needed to, getting crucial damage onto that Darkrai, and that allowed us to be able to win the game in the end. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. Leave your answer to the question of the day in the comment section below. And this is Styx signing out. Why not? See you guys.